Sadly, for many people, for people like Suella Braverman and Priti Patel, the truth generally seeps out. It leaks out because it's impossible to keep it at bay. And today, it's leaked out that Priti Patel threatened to sue Suella Braverman. It's like a scene out of Dynasty, isn't it? With Suella, what's her name? I can't remember. Anyway, Joan Collins going for Krystal. Krystal and Joan Collins fighting in the pool. And you could imagine that, couldn't you? And the whole point is that Suella Braverman apparently was accused by Priti Patel of alleging that it was Priti Patel's fault that there was overcrowding in the Manston detention centre in Kent. And it's so good to see Suella Braverman actually acknowledging that problem, even if she did too little to sort it out, even if she didn't do enough to sort it out until it was too late. Well, apparently, it infuriated Priti Patel so much that she called the Cabinet Secretary and screamed at the Cabinet Secretary that unless the claims were withdrawn, she would start legal action against Suella Braverman. A source says that Priti Patel worked round the clock when she was Home Secretary to tackle this problem and erupted when told that her record was criticised. Simon Case indeed had to calm her down. Now, I think it's not Suella Braverman who's to fault. I think it was actually Robert Jenrick who said to MPs that he had inherited the problem after insufficient accommodation was procured over a sustainable period. That sounds reasonable, frankly. It sounds reasonable. And apparently, it was not Patel's fault. She had apparently already booked migrants into hotels, but it was Suella Braverman who paused this procedure and directly caused the overcrowding that led to death. Suella Braverman is the one who, it appears, has blood on her hands, not Priti Patel, though I think, frankly, it's much of a muchness. Again, Patel's record all hinges on Rwanda and on her failure to execute that deal and on, indeed, her failure, her reliance on that deal. Today, Oliver Dowden has said that he doesn't relish this Rwanda project, but he says we are being forced into it. Well, that's very different, isn't it? Very unlike Suella Braverman, who dreams, she says, of Rwanda flights full of frightened, vulnerable victims of people traffickers. Flights full of people who are not the criminals, but who are the victims of criminals, not only in crossing the channel, but also in fleeing their own homeland, where possibly they are victimized themselves there for one reason or another. But they will never be able to claim asylum here in this country. They will always be stigmatized by the fact that they were persuaded to use a, quote, illegal route, a route defined unilaterally as illegal in contravention of the 1951 Refugee Convention that we helped to draft and that we signed. Thank you, Suella Braverman. A lawyer clearly knows what she's doing.